Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the MLB podcast. And today we're going to do our second, we changed our mind, and final part of the MLB Top 100s list. So this is going to be 26 through 50. And if you want to hear about 51 through 100, you can go to baseballamerica.com. You can go to MLB.com. They're slightly different. Some of them are even within 10 spots different. But to hear more, you can go to those two websites. This is going to be part 2. And after this, I think we'll try to project the wins in the next episode. So here we go. Number 26, Mackenzie Gore. So this guy was in the Padres system, was just drafted last year. Really, really talented. Dominated in the Arizona League. But the thing is, when you're that young, 18, just out of high school, not even close to the majors right now, and is not going to be in spring training, will not be in the majors this year, so it'll be interesting to see how well Gore does in low A and how far that carries over, but no chance in the majors this year. Long did not go to all, went straight to Double A. Kind of did the same thing with Allard, who will appear later in the list, and was really good. Is not dominant, but is productive. Seems like he'll be a productive guy. He'll eat innings, get outs, stuff like that. Will be in spring training, and look, he went to Double A and did very well there. So he's going to go to Triple A. Could be, and the Braves are still rebuilding. I think he could be in the majors this year. Not this year, certainly next year. Number 28, Michael Baez. So Baez is his Cuban is 22, I think, is 6 foot. So one of the taller pitchers in the league, and certainly throughout MLB history, very high percentile of tall pitchers. And pitched in low A last year. Man, look, has a lot of talent, can throw really hard. 100 with the fastball and the slider, has potential to be a solid starter. And being 22, could move quickly and go fast. Go to high A, Double A, maybe Triple A, and then next year I think we'll be ready in the MLB, not this year. So number 29, Hunter Green, right-handed pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. So Green, he might be the most famous baseball player drafted since Bryce Harper. Look, there's not a lot of famous, guys who are drafted out of high school. They're normally not as well known, usually only known by people who read Baseball America, or for the analysts at MLB.com who cover the draft or cover the minors. It's rare, they're not as well known. Like right now, everyone knows about the NFL Combine. Everyone knows about it. People watch March Madness and they know who the guys are going to be drafted. But here, this is a different story. And one of the big reasons is, you look at Hunter Green. Yeah, he's really famous. He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated, a national magazine that a lot of people read. So it doesn't matter what sport you follow. You clearly probably heard about him or at least seen him. And he's been on the cover of Baseball America twice. And look, was a two-way player, but now it looks like he's going to be a pitcher for now. But if that doesn't work, then we'll see. But look, he just turned 18. He turned 18 towards the end of the year. So there's a long ways to go, High A, maybe he performs well. Maybe he's one of these elite prospects that like, wow, he'll be in the big leagues at 19. Maybe he'll go to high A. Low A, too easy. High A, too easy. And it's possible. Or like a lot of guys might spend all this season in low A and be in the big leagues in 4 years from now. We just don't know. It's hard to say. I can't predict it. I think he's a good bet to be this dominant guy. It's a rare breed that's in the big leagues within 2 or 3 years, but I don't know. It's hard to say right now. Number 30, AJ Puck. So this guy in the Oakland A's system. And look, he's 6'7", very tall for a pitcher, and throws hard, fastball, slider, and is shorter than Randy Johnson, but some people have made that comparison. And to get 200 strikeouts in the minors season, their season's shorter, so that's incredible, but then 4 ERA. So clearly in the middle, clearly inconsistent, and he skipped low A, was in short season 2 years ago. And he finished in Double A. And look, he's going to be in the majors this year. He's going to go to Triple A. He's going to get called up at some point this year. When? I'm not sure. My guess is mid-season. Number 31, Scott Kingery, second baseman for the Philadelphia Phillies. So He's someone whose stock has really improved. Had a 2020 year last year. It is really added to the power recently and hit above 300. Was in Double A and Triple A. And look, he's going to be in spring training. And with really all that he's had to prove, the Phillies looking for a second baseman, something they've not had really since the days of Chase Utley. I think this guy is ready to go. I think he's ready to go. I think he'll be on the opening day roster. I really do. Number 32, Luis Urias. So, San Diego Padres. And as a second baseman. So, Urias certainly, can hit for average as a 70 hitting grade, which you look at the scale, 70 is about as high as it can be, without 80, which is kind of historic. That's what they think he is. Really good contact hitter. 20, was in Double A. And look, he's in spring training right now. I think he may go to Triple A. And look, when they already have Fernando Tatis Jr., they look like they could have a really good double play combo. I think it could all come together maybe in as early as 2019. I really think the Padres will have a solid infield in the future. Really do. Number 33, Tristan McKenzie. So, here's a guy that is a right-handed pitcher for the Indians. Here's a guy that, is taking it one step at a time. Was in IA, had nearly 200 strikeouts. And he's only 20 years old. Like, this guy's young. But he's drafted in 2015. So he's taking it one level at a time each year, full season professional baseball. This is his full season, and he'll start in Double A. Now, will he play in the majors this year? I don't think so, given that it's 3 years after he's been drafted. He's young. Starting in Double A. We'll see. I think it's possible. These guys advance. It is hard to predict minor league players. But if you advance quickly and you can show you're ready, then fine. But I really think 2019 is more of his year to really get settled, and I think this will be his last full season in the minors. I do think that's the case. Number 34, Kyle Wright, right-handed pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. So, Wright is just he's just another Braves pitching prospect in the top 50. 50. Again, the Braves really good at developing arms, and you'll see even more of these guys when on the list that on 51 through 100 by visiting Baseball America and MLB.com. You can see more of these, but this is just kind of the start of what they have. And look, a year ago, went to Vandy, and Vandy, right along with Florida, I think is the top kind of pitching place where they develop pitchers and become premium MLB starters, and I think Kyle Wright's just another one. And look, already has really good stuff already, high grades already. And look, he'll start at Double A, and I think he'll be a call. I think he'll be a call up this year. And maybe not even a call up. Maybe he'll be in the majors mid-season. I think 2019 will be his first full year in the rotation. So 2-year turnover, which for a college guy, that's kind of what you expect. And look, I like Kyle Wright. I think he has a lot of potential right now to strive with the Braves, and I really think that's going to happen. So he'll be in the majors this year. Number 35, Franklin Perez, right-handed pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. So Perez, he was someone in the Astros system, highly regarded prospect who was traded in the Justin Verlander trade and turned 20 and reached Double A last year and was not called up, but that's okay. Was 19 all of last year and went to Double A, which that is very impressive considering that American players, when they're 19, many of them are in low A ball, which is very, very common. But not for someone like him. So he performed well in Double A. And look, I think he could go to Triple A, and the Tigers are rebuilding. And I think this guy will be called up, see what he can do, since one, the Tigers rotation is going to be really bad this year. Someone may go down. They may be looking for some way for a glimpse of their future, a glimpse of someone in the rotation that can win that has a chance to win each start. And I think the Tigers will call up Perez this year. They have nothing to lose. Just a year to try things. A year to experiment to see how it goes. And I do think he'll be called up this year, since the Tigers have nothing to lose. They're going to lose a lot of games this year. They may lose 100 games. And if it turns out they lose 102 instead of 100, that's fine. It's really about experimenting. It's really about seeing what you have for the future. And I think the Tigers definitely do that. trying to find a bright spot. So number 36, Willie Calhoun. So yet another guy traded to a team that went to the World Series for a starting pitcher and was traded for Yu Darvish. And look, this guy is small. I think he's 5'8", 5'9". But what this guy is kind of a power hitter. So was in AAA last year and was called up. And look, last year did not spend enough time in the majors to qualify as a rookie. So he's still on the list. He technically still counts as a prospect. I mean, look, you want to go back last year, Andrew Benintendi still counted even though was called up and was playing in the playoffs, was clearly a starter, but the reason why is got hurt, missed 2 weeks, so that cost him his rookie status. So, look, that's the same reason why. So technically, we'll be in the MLB. You know, he's going to have a full season. I mean, the only reason why he's on this list is, again, did not qualify. So we'll see. In the Rangers, historically, they've been good at developing hitters. They've always had a strong offense in that ballpark. I think they're adding someone to really help that offense. So we'll see how this works. I think we'll be in the outfield for the Rangers. So number 37, Alex Verdugo is an outfielder for the Dodgers. So, look, here we are. The Dodgers, historically the last 3 years, they've been very good at developing rookies to be part of their playoff runs. You know, Peterson was that guy in 2015, and again, is not maintaining that status that he had 3 years ago. Seager was the guy in 16, Bellinger in 17, and they both won the Rookie of the Year award. And I think that Verdugo right now has a shot to be another guy who wins Rookie of the Year for the Dodgers on a World Series contender and hit well over 300 in AAA. And look, he spent some time in the majors last year. He spent some. I don't think he has anything left to prove. And look, left field right now for the Dodgers, I mean, it's kind of a log jam out there. Since center field, it's going to be Chris Taylor. It's going to be Puig and Wright. That's locked down for sure. But in left, you have Matt Kemp, who they brought over, who's having a good spring training so far. Could be a veteran bat. And you have Jock Peterson, who really did have a starting role. And then you also have Andrew Toles, who was the starting left fielder last year and on that Dodgers playoff team in 2016 until he got hurt. So right now, you have all these options out there. And look, Verdugo has nothing left to prove, so he has to perform in spring training. And look, he's going to get playing time. More playing time if he does well in the MLB, but it's hard to say. They have a log jam. So whether they decide to cut Kemp or trade Kemp, one of the options, of course, that contract, which they gave to Kemp originally after had a dominant season back in 2011. So, I don't know. It's a logjam. He's ready, but they're just not ready to. I don't know. It's a logjam. It's hard to say. Number 38, Estevan Florial, outfielder in the Yankees system. So this guy was in high A last year, is in spring training right now, is showing potential already. So power speed combination. And with a 70 speed with that much power potential, that means you could be a 30-30 type guy, or certainly 20-20, probably 30-30, maybe. But then again, strikeouts are a problem. You know, there's a guy who strikes out a lot, so again, that is common among guys who have power, certainly power speed guys. They could be 30-30, but they only end up hitting 260, which that is fairly common. And so it's in low A and high A, so it's not going to be in the majors this year. And how much will he in high A, double A? That's the thing. I think this year will be mostly probably double A. I don't think he's in the majors this year. Maybe 2019 is a better guess, but still showing potential already, which is good. Number 39, Brandon McKay. So we have yet another two-way player. And look, this guy, McKay, is a left-handed pitcher and a first baseman, was just dominant at Louisville last year as a pitcher, and went on to play short season after being drafted. So we'll see. I think he'll go to low A to start at and probably go a few levels here. And they do have a good problem, since you have two ways, and I think what could work. I think I read about a few years. So here's an example. Let's say it's Monday. Pitches on Monday. I think Gates on Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe hits again on Friday or something. So might hit 4 times a week, might pitch twice a week. And look, I think he'll really have a chance to actually do this. Shohei Ohtani is actually showing this potential right now, and this could potentially become a trend. And look, I think he'll go to low A and probably finish the season in double A. But again, the Rays are rebuilding, so if they feel ready to call him up, see what he can do in September, that could happen. But I think 2019 is more of his year in the majors. Number 40, Keibert Ruiz, a catcher in the Dodgers system. So, look, the Dodgers have yet another solid hitter. One of the better hitting prospects in the minors, hit over 300 last year. And low and high A. And look, I think he'll be in double A. Since again, the California League's a really good hitting league. He's going to be in double A. If he can hit, and he needs to get better on his defense, that's what the scouting reports have shown. Then, look, I think he could be the Dodgers' next starting catcher, maybe in 2019, and yet another guy the Dodgers develop, which that's what they've been really good at. This could be an interesting guy in the Dodgers system down the road. Number 41, Justice Sheffield. So he's a left-handed pitcher in the Yankee system. So, again, along with Clint Frazier last year, who has since graduated, and at the 2016 deadline for Andrew Miller, was a key piece in that deal. And he was in double A all of last year. And look, he's 22, does not turn 22 until May. And he's entering his 4th full professional season. And he's in the majors right now, as of in spring training. Will probably be sent down. But look, I think he'll be ready for AAA. And, I think he'll be in the could appear in the bullpen in September. Maybe get a few starts here and there. I think he does spend some time in New York in 2018. I think he does spend some time in the majors trying to find a role. But again, you look at the rotation, someone could get hurt. That is a possibility. And not only that, CC is going to be a free agent after this season. So again, CC could be that holdover. I think 2019 could be his first full year in the rotation. But I do think we'll see him in the big leagues this year. Yes. Number 42, Ian Anderson. Yep. Was drafted in the first round, 3rd overall, is in the Atlanta Braves system. And he spent all last year in low A. Now, one thing that could happen, I know Anderson's different from Allard or Soroka, but go from low A to double A. Could we see that? I don't think so. Has potential, but is still raw, has a long way to go. Again, high school pitcher, those type of players usually take a much longer time to develop than, say, other players. But look, I think he'll go to high A, maybe double A. I think 2020 is more of his goal for the majors. That's what I think. 2020 seems about right. Number 43, Franklin Barreto. So is a shortstop in the A's system. And, hits for average, could be a 2020 type player in the majors, and was in AAA and actually got called up. Funny, came up as was originally signed as a Blue Jay, was part of that Josh Donaldson trade, which happened three years ago. And look, we'll be in spring training. The A's are rebuilding. And look, I think this guy should be the shortstop. I don't think he'll be there on opening day. I think he'll be fairly early. I think this will be a good chance, but guys on this list, he's going to be high in the percentile list of top 100 prospects of spending time in the majors this year. Number 44, Austin Meadows, an outfielder in the Pirates organization. So, a lot of players have seen their stock rise. Austin Meadows is kind of the opposite. He's been in AAA the past couple of years. He was there in 2016, there in 2017. A lot of people thought he'd be called up, but he's been hurt throughout his career. He's been hurt at times, and was below expectations. And that may have cost him a call-up. But here's the good news. Andrew McCutchen was traded to the Giants this offseason. And the Pirates are rebuilding, at least this year. So I don't think he'll be on the opening day roster. But look, I think he should be in the majors this year. I think the Pirates should just give him a call-up and see how it works, since we thought it might have happened in 2016. Didn't happen. Maybe 2017. Never happened. I really think this year really could be the year. Number 45, Jake Barrows, first base and outfield in the Rays system. So, look, this was someone who has always been young for a player in their leagues. Whether that's high A, double A, triple A. Was in triple A last year and was 21. And is not dominant. I don't think he's dominant right now. I mean, it's hard to say what he projects to be. Not anything that stands out. Is not extremely fast. Does not have incredible power. Does not have the ability to hit for a 300 batting title potential average. Is not. I mean, it's hard to say what he really is. And look, I think, for some guys, they don't dominate in the minors and they figure out in the majors. So it's hard to say. This is his 5th full professional season. The Rays are rebuilding. Look, I think he'll be called up fairly early in the season, and if not by opening day. So that'll be interesting to see. Number 46, Joe Adell, outfielder in the Angels system. So last year's draft, you saw who was drafted, and Adell. You get the Baseball America magazine. I read about it, and then they got to the short season section. I was reading about, wow, look at that, and you look at the scales. You hear what some people say about him, and this seems like the kind of guy that could be a 5-tool talent already. People say he has a really good arm, is fast, has a lot of power. And when you look at that, you think, wow, that could be an amazing player right there. That really could be just a great player. But the thing is, he's only 18, and he's only played in short season ball. And when you look at someone that talented, they're very talented, but they're still raw. They're a long ways away from the majors. And look, we'll play in low A next year. Maybe high A. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how good the talent really is. But look, I think this is the type of player, Adell, that is really good. Could be a superstar in the majors. But is still raw, still talented. Definitely someone to be excited about. But is still developing, and I don't think will be in the majors until 2020 or 2021. That's just my guess. Number 47, Keston Hiura, second baseman in the Brewer system. So, look, this is a guy who was just drafted out of college last year and already has a 70 hitting grade, was the best pure hitter in the draft in terms of hitting for average, and showed the potential right away. And in short season ball, hit 400 right away, nearly at 400. And I think is the type of guy that could contend for batting titles at the major league level. But, yeah, he's had some injury problems. Not sure if he can play in the field. He's had some arm issues. Clearly, he's not affected him at the plate. But I think we'll start out, really, in the minors. I think could go to low A. But I think could advance very quickly. Maybe not even low A, maybe high A. And then finish in double A, triple A. And I think in 2019, we'll be ready to go. I really think with this guy's hitting ability, he can move really quickly to show that he can hit pitching. And this might be the best, maybe already, and who knows, maybe very soon the best batting title potential guy in the minors. Certainly on this portion of the list. So, number 48, Taylor Trammell, outfielder. So, in the Red system. So, this guy's drafted in 2016, I believe, and look, is really fast, kind of like Billy Hamilton. Who knows, they could pair together in a few years. That's hard to say. So 70 speed. But then, again, was in low A last year. And it's not going to be even close to the majors. I think it could be 2 or 3, a couple of years at least. So maybe not until 2020. It's hard to say. Fast guy, still needs more time. Number 49, Jesus Sanchez, an outfielder in the Rays system. So, this guy's 19, played very well in low A. Seems like he seems like a player with a lot of offensive potential. Has hit for a high average in every single level so far. But again, being 19, number 1, number 2, only one full season of pro ball. Nowhere near the majors as of right now. If he's solid in 2018, he could be a lot closer to the MLB than say he is right now. which that happens a lot. People have breakthrough years. You look at Ronald Acuna last year, a year ago, had limited experience in low A due to injuries, right? Then again, just dominated in high A, went to Triple A, and is pretty much ready for the majors right now, and will be in the majors very soon, if not now. So that can happen. So who knows? Maybe this guy has a breakthrough year like that, or it's hard to say. Or maybe just a guy who won't be in the majors for another 2 to 3 years. We'll see. Number 50, Alex Faedo, right-handed pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. So this is the draft pick. The Tigers, in 2016, almost made it to the playoffs. So this guy was drafted 18th overall and did not pitch since being signed late. Best pitch, what I've seen looking at the grade, is the slider, which has a grade of 65, and was really dominant in last year's College World Series with Florida. That could be seen with just the eye test. And it'll be interesting to see where does he pitch in 2018. It's hard to say. No minor league experience. I think we'll go to low A just due to no experience, and we'll probably maybe finish in double A. I think we'll move fairly quickly. And with a lot of these guys, I try to look at the best case scenario. And if he does well this year, I think he'll be called up with the Tigers in 2019. And again, they're rebuilding. They don't have, they have a lot of opportunities to look at who to pitch, who's good for them, who's not. Clear rebuild. We'll be in Detroit shortly. This year, I don't think so. Next year, I think is the better year. So, this is the end of our spring training prospect section. Again, originally we thought we'd do a 4-part series, but then after doing 2, we thought that seems like a lot to do. So, to see 51 through 100, go to Baseball America or MLB.com if you're interested in seeing. And that does it for this portion. Again, I think this is one of the only few times a year where we really get into the minors again. We're mostly MLB. So next, I think we'll try to guess what each team's win totals will be. So thank you for listening, and we will see you next time on the MLB podcast.